I firmly believe that people who join me for happy hour and also for Socialism Saturday, which is tomorrow at 6 p.m., on a regular basis, know more about what is going on the woke left than anyone else on the planet. I mean more than the journalists, I mean more than the pundits, I mean more than the commentators, I mean more than the YouTubers. You guys know more about what's going on because you actually sit your asses down and you listen to them in their full form. And the purpose of happy hour is to make sure that we understand the enemy that we are fighting, not the outrage content, not the clickbait that's put out by like the Daily Wire and Fox News. We don't want that. That is not real. That is manufactured outrage to get you to give them money. This is the real deal. This is what they say to each other. This is what they say when they don't think anyone is looking. And look at this, guys. Check this out. This presentation only has 538 views. This has basically never been seen before by people like us. You are in on the ground floor today, ladies and gentlemen, and I do hope you appreciate it. Now, what I want to do is a couple of things. First off, I want to walk you through how I found this presentation, because I want you to understand how to look for this type of stuff, because the more people we have looking for this type of stuff and watching this type of stuff, the more the better position we're going to be in. I firmly believe that these people put everything that they're planning on doing live on the internet. They act with such hubris. They say the quiet part out loud all the time. And so if we just sit our asses down and listen to what they're saying, we're going to find it eventually. Now, the problem is these people put out so much content that it is quite literally impossible for me personally to watch and stream everything. So that's why everyone needs to be involved. Everyone needs to look at it. We can do this stuff together and that's fine. And I try to make it fun and bearable and all that stuff. But the more people who understand how to find this stuff, the better position we're going to be in. So I want to tell you how I found this presentation, because you'll notice Jeffrey Marsh's name is not in the title of this presentation. That's not how I found it. I found it because I was doing research for this article right here that I wrote this week for my Substack. It's called Michigan Trains Teachers. Hang on, and I just lost my URL. Michigan trains teachers to help elementary school students come out to their parents. This is a real thing. I have been doing a series of articles basically exposing the teacher training that the Michigan Department of Education is doing with teachers all across the state of Michigan. It is shocking. If you know parents in Michigan, or even scarier, you are a parent in Michigan, you really need to read this series of articles. This is the third in the series, and I still have a whole bunch of other presentations I haven't watched yet. And so that's an ongoing thing. But one of the things we found in this presentation is this right here. We found out that Michigan, the state of Michigan, is using the Gender Spectrum Gender Support Plan. Now, the Gender Spectrum Gender Support Plan is a PDF that schools can download when schools are having conversations with your kids without telling you. They're not informing the parents when this is going on. The Michigan Department of Education made that extremely clear. And what they're doing is they're helping your kids, starting in elementary school, to develop plans for how they're going to come out to you, their parents. And on this form, they even have whole sections. Do your parents know about this? What do your parents think about this? Are your parents safe to contact? This type of stuff is going to go in your kid's school file, and you're never going to be the wiser that it exists, because the school isn't going to tell you about it. And the Department of Education in Michigan is actually training teachers to not inform parents when this stuff is going on. So it started with me researching this gender spectrum form, and I ended up on the website for Gender Spectrum. Gender Spectrum is an uber woke organization that is working in schools all over the country. And anytime I'm on an uber woke organization's website, one of the first things I do is I scroll down to the bottom and I look for their social media, because these people say everything on their social media. And if you just look at it, then they'll tell you what's going on. And so there I found their YouTube channel. Okay, let me click over into the Gender Spectrum YouTube channel. And that had all sorts of stuff on it, but there was nothing really that stood out to me. So I did what I always do, and I went into the live section. I wanted to see their long form presentations. And then I scrolled down in the live section and boom, I was like, that's Jeffrey Marsh. What's that about? Gender Spectrum. Keep in mind, This is an organization that the Michigan Department of Education is quite literally working with to develop gender plans for your students without telling you to come out to you as either gay or trans in elementary school. And they have a presentation on their YouTube channel from 6 years ago featuring Jeffrey Marsh. They've got all sorts of other crazy stuff too. This might not be the only thing we watch from Gender Spectrum depending on how this goes. But I wanted to give you some insight into how I found it. This is from a group called Gender Spectrum, and we're going to talk about that in a second. The presentation, again, this is from April 22nd, 2016. This was before Trump got elected. Okay? Like, everyone just needs to, this presentation was done in Obama era. All right?
Masculinize yourself rather than try and feminize yourself for some reason.
Better to masculinize yourself.
It's somehow society thinks it is. So,
Oslick, I heard your train in the background.
Yes.
Go buy your ticket, but don't leave yet. Oh, I'm sorry, Matthew. What were you saying? Masculine.
Kill that thought.
Yeah, I was just talking about how it's so. I feel it's really difficult in seeing.
My senior.
Wait, I want to hear what Matthew says.
What
and
the
then
hell
we'll get
is
to Maya?
What is this?
It
Matthew, what were you saying?
It's always interesting to me how it seems better. Women wearing pants is masculinizing somehow, and so somehow then when a man, if they wanted to wear a skirt, it's feminizing and it's more frowned upon because it's feminizing yourself, and somehow that's worse.
Yeah, and now we get to misogyny.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's sort of like when a woman puts on a pair of pants or a man's suit, she's somehow trying to have a better station in life. But if a man puts on women's clothes, it's like he's lessening himself. Something like that, Matthew?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
That
We
was
don't believe that, but
straight
yes, that's
indoctrination.
how
What Jeffrey
society is
just
working.
did.
Maya, hit it.
Did you guys see what just happened? Because teachers do this in school all the time, and I want to make sure you can see what just happened so that you can identify it, because most of the people who do this are not going to show up as creepy as Jeffrey Marsh is. What just happened is that kid, the 18-year-old, had some idea in his head that he was like working through. Oh yeah, it's okay for, men to do this or women to do that, whatever. Then Jeffrey Marsh said, Matthew, do you mean that's the patriarchy? That's the patriarchy, Matthew. And then Matthew was like, yes, Jeffrey, that's exactly what I meant. So the kid didn't know. The kid was like trying to regurgitate ideas that he had heard before. And we'll rewind in a second and watch it again. And then Jeffrey was like, Matthew, what you're really saying is the patriarchy. That's what you meant, isn't it, Matthew? Jeffrey Marsh is looking for ways to guide the conversation to tell the kids where to go. The kids are not getting there on their own, though.
Matthew, what were you saying?
It's always interesting to me how it seems better. Women wearing pants is masculinizing somehow, and so somehow then when a man, if they wanted to wear a skirt, it's feminizing and it's more frowned upon because it's feminizing yourself, and somehow that's worse.
Yeah, and now we get to misogyny.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, it's sort of like when a woman puts on a pair of pants or a man's suit, she's somehow trying to have a better station in life. But if a man puts on women's clothes, it's like he's lessening himself. Matthew, what were you saying?
It's always interesting to me how it's. And Jeffrey, I have a question now. My question is.
I love your curtain.
Thank you. It's my
Oh
only
my
background I have.
god!
But my question is, and you might have just answered it with what you just said, but what is to you, you think, the most important thing to remember
I don't know why that
about
was so
self-love?
creepy to me, but that was. Hang on.
Ooh, yes.
I didn't even hear the question he asked because I was so horrified that out of nowhere Jeffrey Marsh was trying to connect with this kid and say like, I love your curtain. Yes, it was a love bomb. That's exactly it. Everyday therapist, do you think Jeffrey Marsh is a legitimate narcissist? Because I do. I absolutely do. That was like a narcissist love bomb right there. And the way he at the beginning of the presentation said, like, we get to talk about my favorite topic. Me. Yeah, he really is love bombing that poor kid.
And Jeffrey, I have a question now. My question is,
I love your curtain.
thank you. It's my only background I have. But my question is, and you might have just answered it with what you just said, but what is to you, you think, the most important thing to remember about self-love?
Ooh, yes, letting yourself off the hook is absolutely important to remember. I think the most important thing to remember, and this comes with a caveat, which I'll get to, is that everyone deserves self-love. And we could take the self off. Get some
Hang on.
exercise.
I'm not going to put up with any gay hating in my chat. There will be no gay hating here. This is an LGBTQ activist. Normal LGBT people don't do this stuff. They don't like this stuff. We are not going to do gay hating on my channel. You can save that for Twitter or whatever alt-right forum you're in. I don't really care, but you ain't doing it here.
Now, I have a question for you though.
Okay.
So you say nice things in the mirror, but what are your other tips and hints?
Why is he asking the kid questions? Again,
me,
he is paying extra attention to this child, and it is creepy. Has he asked either of the girls questions? No. I wonder why he is really focusing on Matthew.
this might be kind of weird.
I
I love putting on
18.
my binder. I know a lot of trans guys really hate it because it's constricting and it hurts to breathe and it's annoying a lot of the time, but I love putting it on and then looking at myself because for me, my chest was such a dysphoric area and it still is and it probably will be for like a little while until I keep working on that. But putting it on, the very first time I ever put on a binder was probably one of the happiest moments I've ever had in my transition. And to look in the mirror and see like, and every time I get a new binder or even just looking at it and knowing that the old ones are kind of still there, it just is something that shows me progress. It's something that shows me that I'm still moving forward. And anytime I feel stuck or anytime I just feel down, it just reminds me that even when I take it off and like it's revealing something I'm not proud of necessarily, it reminds me that there's something to look forward to. And it reminds me that I'm always moving forward.
A binder is like a really tight sports bra that trans people will wear to flatten the boobs so that they basically disappear.
Wow. So putting on that binder is an act of love.
Yeah.
Putting on the
Most definitely.
binder is an act
Yeah,
of
and then
love.
we're back to Maya, right? So what you wear is your self-expression and your love for
1000%.
yourself. Yeah. Wow. So putting on that binder is an act of love.
Yeah.
For you.
Most definitely.
Yeah, and then we're back to Maya, right? So what you wear is your.
It makes people.
Hi, Odin's Men. Thank you for stealing my shit, Odin's Men. I do appreciate you watching and stealing my shit and not crediting me, Odin's Men. Don't think I don't see you on Twitter stealing my shit and pawning it off as your own, Odin's Men. I don't know which one of you is doing this in the chat. Probably someone I blocked. But someone who definitely doesn't follow me on Twitter is currently watching this stream to steal my shit. See, this is the only way conservative influencers can find this stuff is if they watch my content and stalk my content and then make believe that they found the content when in fact they're just pawning off other people's work as their own. Happens all the time. So shout out Odin's Men. I see you on Twitter right now. Thank you to the person who tagged me in it. I really do appreciate you letting me know that other people are stealing my content and not even doing the service of tagging me in the tweets that you are stealing my content for. You lazy fucking piece of garbage. At least send in a super chat if you're going to steal my shit, dude. All right, let's continue to watch so Odin's Men on Twitter can continue to steal my shit. God forbid, I wouldn't want to do a disservice to Odin's Men to provide him with content that he can post on Twitter and pretend that he found it. You know? I wonder how much other of my content he's stolen. Yeah, so he's saying that Odin's Man is saying on Twitter right now that someone just sent him the link for this presentation and he just happened to post it while I was live streaming it on the internet. And it just happened to be a presentation from 2016 that only 500 people have even watched before this. And he just happened to get sent the link today by someone else and just happened to post it while I was streaming it live. He's a liar. Don't ever believe that asshole again. He can go fuck himself. We need to pay more attention to Jeffrey than we are that conservative jackass on Twitter who is currently stealing my work. And do you know what part he clipped too? This is the last thing I'm going to say about it, I promise. You know what part he clipped? The part where all of us commented on Jeffrey complimenting that kid's curtains. So a part that we literally stopped the presentation to comment on because it was so creepy, that just happened to be the part that he clipped. And he claims he just happened to have been sent the presentation separately when we just happened to be streaming it on the internet. That guy is a liar. Brian, I'm pretty sure that was the person who got banned from your account earlier, calling out. I bet it was Brian calling out the previous tweet about calling out LGBT. I bet, Brian, I bet you're right about that. Well, just because it's full of stolen content doesn't make it correct. Here is the thing, guys. I do this all day, every day. I do original content and original journalism all day, every day, for everyone's benefit. This is what I spend all of my time doing. I don't take vacations. I don't take days off. I don't do any of the things that normal people do because I'm doing this. And then while I'm spending all my time doing this, conservative jackasses on the internet watch everything I do because they know I'm one of the best content creators out there creating legitimate fucking journalism, and they steal it and they pawn it off as their own. And then I have to deal with people, Carlin, why are you claiming someone stole your work? Why do you care? Etc., etc. I care because the only way that I can do this sustainably is to make original content. So, if you guys would like to support my content and my work to make sure that I can keep doing this sustainably, every single time that conservative jackasses steal my work and pawn it off as their own so they can make money off of my back without even crediting me, please make sure you're subscribed as a paying member on my Substack. I would really appreciate it. It is $5 a month, $50 a year to sign up as a paying member on my Substack. The paying supporters of my work support the work I'm doing. They're the ones that allow me to do all this stuff. And I probably wouldn't be so uppity about people stealing my work if they weren't making money off it, because people think it's theirs and it's coming from them, but it's really coming off of my fucking back. I found this presentation at 2 a.m. in the morning when I was staying up working to write an article to expose the Michigan Department of Education. Odin's man took my work, stole it, pawned it off as his own, did nothing, and he's doing it to make money. So if you want to stick it to him, please make sure you subscribe as a paying member on my Substack. I would really appreciate it, because the reality is, if I don't bring in a certain amount of paying supporters who value the work I'm doing that other conservative influencers are out there stealing every single day, I can't do this. And if I stop doing this, then your conservative influencers are going to have no other content to steal. They're actually going to have to go out and do their own work. And God knows they're not going to do that because they're lazy. Because that's why they're stealing other people's work in the first place and not even bothering to credit them, because they're lazy. So if people don't support the work I'm doing, then you're going to end up with them. And that's just going to be the way it goes. So guys, please make sure you sign up as a paying supporter on my Substack if you have not already. I really do appreciate it.
A minute.
Holy shit. Okay, I lied. This is not the last thing I'm going to say about Odin's man. Do you know what he said? Do you know how I said at the beginning of this stream? Odin's men. Do you know how I said at the beginning of this stream that this was from the Obama era? Look at what this jackass tweeted. Do you know how I introed this stream saying it was in the Obama era? This jackass, who is claiming he didn't steal my work, quite literally tweeted, "He's been doing it since the Obama era." You're not stealing my shit, bro? You're not stealing my shit? Really? You're not stealing my shit? All right. All right. Sure. You were just magically sent this link today that's been on the internet for 6 fucking years that no one else found until I found it at 2 a.m. the other day when I was doing actual research and actual journalism, and you just happen to be parroting exactly the same things that I'm saying on this stream right now. You happen to be stealing words out of my mouth, you fucking lying thief. We see you. We know what's going on. You are not smarter than me. You are not going to gaslight me into believing that you aren't watching me right now, because of course you're watching me right now, because you are completely lazy and incapable of creating your own content. You have to steal other people's work. This is why conservatives lose. That's exactly right. This is why no one wants to help you and no one wants to support you, because you don't appreciate the work that goes into this. You don't appreciate the hours that I spend every single week researching this. You just steal something, call it your own, call it a day because you want to make money. This is why conservatives lose. And this is why you have no one supporting you. Yeah, he probably does have a clip channel. How much you want to bet he is going to make all of these on his channel? It's cool. I can make clips too, Odin's men. I can make them too. Let me just take a look real quick. You just happened to literally parrot my words from my stream in your tweets on a video that has been buried on the internet for 6 years, that you just happened to be sent during my stream. You are a lying, Lazy thief. He's got that clip. What else does he have? It's oh, here it is. It's fun when libertarians attack you for even commenting on the LGBTQ. Oh, yeah. Okay, so he's complaining about people getting blocked in my chat. Do you remember earlier when I told people don't comment on LGBTQ stuff in my chat? He is literally complaining about people being blocked in my chat and fucking subtweeting it. Yeah, of course you're watching right now, Odin's Men. Of course you're watching. There he is again. There he is again. Wow. Oh, look at this. Oh, he's tagging gender spectrum. Oh, he's tagging gender spectrum. Huh. It's funny. How did Odin's Men, how did you find gender spectrum? How did you find it? Did you find it from my journalism on gender spectrum? Is that how you found it? On my journalism about gender spectrum? Oh, and just happened to say, just happened to be tagging it. You are such an asshole, dude. Go fuck yourself. All right. I'm sorry, I have feelings about people stealing my work, particularly when do you guys understand? I stay up most nights until 2, 3, sometimes 4 o'clock in the morning doing this research so that I can make sure I'm giving you guys the most unique content on the internet. Do you guys understand how many hours a week I put into this? How much stuff that I don't get to do because I'm always doing this? It is insulting. It is insulting and it is egregious and it happens all the time. And then if I talk about it, conservatives are like, why are you worried about it? Why do you care? Why are you infighting? Why are you creating drama? Well, you're really the problem, Carlin. It's not the people who are stealing my work and pawning it off as their own that are the problem. It's me that's the problem for calling out that they're stealing my work and pawning it off as their own. That's the real problem. You know, these people pretend to be good Christians. I promise we're going to go back to the presentation in a second. These people pretend to be good Christians. And then they ignore one of the basic commandments, which is thou shalt not steal, motherfuckers. Don't ever pretend to be a Christian if you're going to blatantly steal other people's shit. Don't ever make claims about libertarians when you're ignoring the basic tenets in the non-aggression principle, which is don't hurt people and don't take their stuff. You are a lazy piece of shit, Odin's Men. You are a lazy piece of shit. Incapable of doing your own work, which is why you're stealing mine. All right. Let's get back to it, guys. We have about 10 more minutes. We have to stream 10 more minutes of this presentation so Odin's Men can steal it and tweet it using my words